All right, guys, we're here at the Mundelein police station in Illinois. I believe this is Cook County. I am not in my uniform. However, I do have my clipboard. Fake Mike, Real News, CPR from Indianapolis. There goes a thermometer. Go ahead, Pep. You want to make the request or will?
I'm going to.
All right. We're gonna see what it's online. They're gonna tell us it's online. Oh, excellent.
Hi, how are you? I'd like to do a FOIA request, please. Records? Thank you very much.
What's that, Will?
Ooh, that's a good question. So music. Before we do.
What's that?
Their values.
Integrity, pride, quality of service.
Let's see how that goes, because we're gonna. This is what they say. Let's see what happens when we go down there. Positive relationships, good. Integrity.
Yeah.
Pride. Okay. Quality of service. That's good. Community wellness. Hey guys, how are you? Excellent. How are you? Good. What you got working on today, brother?
I am doing a lot of
Let me see what they have.
Nothing exciting.
Nothing exciting, and that's a good day.
That's it. That is a good day.
That is good.
What do you think about the Constitution during the coronavirus pandemic?
I think the pandemic was a new challenge for everybody. People were reacting as best they could to provide resources to everybody. So,
Did you guys have any like curfews or anything like that when it was going on? Were there any businesses closed?
there are businesses that were shut down for
Got a body
short
worn.
period of time to, accommodate. So,
There's a
following
FOIA
whatever the
for you.
governor was putting out and stuff. So,
Okay, that's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, cool. Sweet. Well,
How are you guys doing?
I'm excellent. Well,
Yeah.
I don't want to say excellent. I'm doing okay. I
Yeah.
mean, comparatively, half the world lives off $2 a day. However, the Constitution here, even before coronavirus, there's places where the First Amendment is in holes, especially out here in Illinois. It's very difficult for people to have
Excellent
Second Amendment
service.
respected, which I think is unfortunate. And there's also the continual drug war, which was created by the United Nations and unconstitutionally adopted by Richard Nixon. George Washington himself grew toothache hemp, smoked pot, you know what I'm saying? And now we have thousands, if not millions of people in jail for victimless crimes. It's also a violation of the Constitution. And we also have the Fourth Amendment being subverted by the National Security Agency, William Benny, and Edwards, known as led us know about that for a long time, spending trillions of our own tax dollars to have our Fourth Amendment subverted. I wish you guys would come with me, former posse, go rally those guys down there, we're just coming here. We're going to do some FOIAs. We want to make sure that the First Amendment is upheld. We want to have conversations with anybody that's willing to listen about how important the United States Constitution is, how important freedom is. Men, women, and children have given blood, sweat, and tears from that.
Right.
And a lot of the things that people say, well, we're in a pandemic. Well, we fought a Revolutionary War. George Washington led shoeless soldiers across the Delaware while we were fighting smallpox. So I appreciate you being. Well, I'll give you a COVID-friendly pound right there. We're gonna go do a FOIA.
It says excellence. Is that true?
Excellent.
Oh yeah,
Is the service here truly excellent?
well. This guy seems.
I believe that we strive to achieve that. I think every day, right? There's always room for improvement. You can always be better.
Yep.
I think that goes.
Learning is a
every
everyday
facet of government. We can
process.
always be better.
Sir, is your body worn on?
Yeah.
It is? Okay. That there goes a record there.
Yeah, and the only other thing that I wish.
Just because you always gotta, you never know what's gonna happen, right?
That may be a part of the documentation for matters of public interest. Can we go ahead and have your badge number?
256.
Okay, 256. What current time do you have?
I got my other phone. I'll tell you.
That'll be a cool request there for the documentation. 141. All right.
Yeah, you guys get the video. You guys can see.
Pause. So we'll go ahead and obtain them records if possible. Well, it's possible. They came out with their body cams on. First thing CPR said no.
I didn't. It's not flash. They didn't have a little red light on. Unless those ones just don't have the red light. But.
And I like having those conversations with these gentlemen because they seem like they may be even responsive to it. Which, okay.
She got a phone call. She's on the phone with them right now. Yeah, that's gonna be it right there. Okay, cool. Were you ready to make the FOIA request?
Yeah, when she's done with the phone.
All right, sure. They have 2 staff members over here. Administrative.
Yeah, I'd like to do a FOIA request, please. Is this record? Thank you.
One more form, please.
Thank you very much.
Let's see if she prepared the clipboard for me, and I already have. I do have a clipboard, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Here's another form and a pen.
Are you the FOIA officer?
I am not, no, I'm a records clerk.
What's the name of the FOIA officer? First name?
We don't have a FOIA officer per se.
Mhm.
We have records clerks that process all the FOIAs for the.
Records clerk?
Yes.
What's the first name of the record clerk?
My name is Stephanie. I'm sorry about that. Hold on one moment.
The records clerk first name, not your name?
Which one?
You said there's a clerk is the
Yeah, we have-
custodian of records. What's the first name of the clerk?
We have 4 different records clerks.
Oh, do you? That all handle FOIAs.
Yeah.
So is any of the FOIA officers available at this current second?
Well, I'm a records clerk. I process the FOIA.
The reason why I ask, ma'am, I'd like to do an inspection on the FOIA log for last year.
Okay.
Mhm.
Maybe you talk to a supervisor? if you
Sure.
want.
By that time, we'll go ahead and fill these forms out.
You're very polite. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Pause. So I filled out a FOIA for body-worn cameras. For a body-worn camera. I did request also to do a... I did request a FOIA log. What's that say?
Thank you. You pulled me over last week. Thank you. Thank you.
All set?
Off the phone? Okay. Ma'am, can we have 2 stamped copies with the date, please?
Sure. Give me one moment.
2 for your clerk and 2 for our records. How many days of compliance is it?
We have 5 business days.
Sure.
They should have the United States Constitution. But besides that, I like that they.
Did you do a follow-up call about the FOIA log?
A follow-up call?
Yeah, about the FOIA log?
We have a supervisor here if you'd like to ask him some questions.
Okay, sure. Who's the supervisor?
He's right over
That's
here.
me.
Oh,
We were just talking upstairs.
If you
okay.
could sign this one for me, please.
Ma'am, it does not require a signature. FOIA does not, in the state of Illinois, does not require a signature. I'd like to do an inspection. You're not the person who handles the FOIA.
Correct.
Okay, is any of the 4 clerks that handles records available? I need to do an inspection on the FOIA log for the year of 2020.
That's a good question. I don't even know. I
Sure.
don't handle FOIA.
That's why
Is anyone
you're
here?
the wrong person to speak to.
Is Ava here or is she gone? So the record supervisor isn't here. She'll be back tomorrow. So that would be the best option as far as like who to actually speak to get the, whatever you're looking, I don't know what
The young lady did indicate to me there's 4 record keepers. Is any of the 4 presently available with the book readily available? FOIA log?
I don't believe so. I don't, like I said, I don't really know how the FOIA process
Okay.
works, so that would be something that would probably go through the record
Ma'am,
supervisor. so-
do you believe the FOIA log is readily available for inspection?
Yeah, I'm a records clerk, so FOIA log is not something I'm familiar with.
Okay.
That would be-
Anyhow,
That would be something that legitimately you'd have to reach out to him tomorrow and then.
anyhow,
find out that.
yep, we'll go ahead with those 2 copies there. Did you specify your request, like to narrow it down?
Last 10 internal affairs investigation reports.
Wow,
Yeah.
nice.
And you wanted 2 copies, correct?
2 for your clerk, 2 for our records. Oh, Will, maybe read to this gentleman the first two paragraphs of the FOIA Act. It's very powerful.
Not just gentlemen, but more importantly to the subscribers at home.
Sure.
And to the super subscribers. This is very important, and I love, this is from the state of Illinois here. So look up your local state and find out. But these are actually very well-written, eloquent. It's just beautiful. So I'm going to read these two paragraphs. Section 1. Pursuant to the fundamental philosophy of the American constitutional form of government, it is declared to be the public policy of the state of Illinois that all persons are entitled to full and complete information regarding the affairs of government and the official acts and policies of those who represent them as public officials, I would say servants, and employees consistent with the terms of this act. Such access is necessary to enable the people to fulfill their duties. This is our duty, guys. Discussing public issues fully and freely, making informed political judgments, and monitoring government. That's what we do. That's what auditing is, to ensure that it is being conducted in the public interest. The General Assembly hereby declares that it is the public policy of the state of Illinois that access to all persons to public records promotes the transparency and accountability of public bodies at all levels of government. It is a fundamental obligation of government to operate openly and to provide public records as expediently and efficiently as possible in compliance with this act. So this is a very sacred thing where we're operating in. People say, we're making the world safe for democracy. Well, this is a constitutional republic. And as you can see, it is our duty to be well informed and for government to be fair and accountable. And it's our job as citizenry to be
I thank you guys.
non-violently.
Oh,
to
wait
make
a
this
minute.
thing work.
Where's your records?
I'm sorry?
Do you have 2 records for your clerk?
I'm sorry, records of what?
Copies.
Yes, we have our copies right over here.
Oh, so you made, how many total pages? Is it 6?
How many copies did you need?
1 of each? Well, anyhow, this should do it. She made 2 additional copies. Okay, anyhow, that was a great read. Sir, let me ask you a question maybe you've never been asked.
Sure.
It specifies there in the FOIA Act of Illinois that FOIA is subject to all levels of government. That being said, can I fill out a blank sheet of paper, and if pulled over, for example, if somebody got pulled over, would they be able to file a FOIA with the officer that pulls them over and have that officer forward it over later to the proper channel?
Don't know. Honestly, don't know.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think
Well,
I think
that's
you
the
have
way.
to come in and request FOIA specifically.
That's not true. That is not true. However, every day is a learning process, and that FOIA Act specifies the exact statutes. These people may receive a 5 out of 5 star on Yelp for great service. Keyword, maybe.
I'll tell you what, you guys have been very friendly. Please uphold the Constitution. Continue to do that. That's more important than even being friendly. I have one more question though.
Sure.
When specifically does the First Amendment end in disorderly conduct or disturbing the peace begin?
I think that's a very fine line of the two, right? I mean, the generic thing is you can't yell fire in a theater because you're putting other people in danger. I think that's kind of one of those things. I mean, if you walk into like
I never heard that before. That's a good one.
well, that's kind of the generic thing they teach. Like when you're putting somebody else in a position of jeopardy by your action,
Not everybody's gonna feel the
you
same
know.
about.
So, but it is. It's not. There's not a. hard
Listen to this, guys.
And I can't be.
Oh, as soon as these gentlemen finish talking.
Yeah.
You know, certain things might disturb and alarm me where they may not disturb and alarm a normal citizen or vice versa.
So that's a very important thing. He cannot be a victim of disorderly conduct. Now, my personal answer to that is, you're right, you cannot call for violence and you cannot yell fire. But short of that, you should be able to yell, scream, swear, say any profanities you want, as long as you're not destroying property or calling for violence or being violent. So.
And I think that balances, you know, like we don't walk in, like, just as an example, I wouldn't think of ever walking in church during service and just start screaming. That's
Right.
just not normal accepted behavior in society.
Listen to this, Will.
So, yeah.
Officer pulls over John Doe. Officer writes John Doe a ticket for having a tinted windows. Okay, here's your ticket, sir, $100 fine. Okay, officer, I'd like to file a FOIA request as well. I'd like to find out how many records have, since my license plate collected, you know, how many right. And on top of that, officer, I also like to request your last 10 tickets that you've issued. So, you know, that when you just read the first 2 paragraphs of the Illinois FOIA Act, specifies government at all levels. That being said, you're able to also file after receiving a ticket, serve the officer with the FOIA. When you have the badge number, That's the way you're able to confirm that they'll forward it over to the proper channel according to the statutes. Let's abide by the statutes. Let's abide by the law.
I think that's a stretch. The process of filing FOIA has to go in.
Let's hear this.
We're going for each officer doing that. We have a process at our level of government, which is online or coming here in person. That's at our level.
Sir, a refusal of officer accepting the napkin written down as a FOIA request or the blank sheet, that would be a contact to Springfield Public Access as the officer or government official refused to forward it over to the proper channel. No, I'm not going to do that. Go to the town hall and file your FOIA. Sir.
That would be subject to, that would be subject to actual, like, what I would recommend to your viewers or whatever would be, I would actually.
Anyhow.
I would inquire legally, I would actually get a legal opinion on that, because I would actually agree. I think the process is that you need to.
Well,
file it
before
here,
getting a
have it
legal
sent through the
opinion,
process.
go ahead and file the form and wait for the
What I'm
compliance.
saying is, if your viewers are watching, right, and they're going to take this to heart, sometimes things that we perceive aren't always correct. I could be completely wrong. Maybe you are completely right. I don't know that. But if you
Transparency.
tried to do that on a stop and that
Transparency.
didn't work, maybe that wasn't the right way to do
Okay,
it.
well,
So-
if you say it didn't work, that means the officer, the acting officer on duty, failed
Or it
to.
means that your interpretation is incorrect and what you believe is the correct. Like I said, I could be incorrect, you could be incorrect. We're not legal attorneys, right? That's something for a constitutional review, somebody would have to discuss it.
Sir,
Attorney
that's not a
General's office.
constitutional review. That's the Illinois compiled statutes.
And that's
That
why-
would be a question for the Attorney General, because
And
there's a
that's why-
process for FOIAs, they go through, there's a review, they go to the attorney. That's all.
Well, and this is the important reason that we do this now. He's actually more of an expert on this situation than I am, but a lot of times people say, well, I'm not a lawyer, or you're gonna have to talk to the politicians.
That means give up and don't study. Stop studying.
So that's why we do this.
Study,
That's why we do
absolutely.
this, is to try to illuminate this type of stuff for the ordinary citizen. Because we feel like the proper power dynamics, at least not in this building right now, where citizenry and the government have been kind of flipped on its head.
Sure.
So we want people to get non-violently active again and make sure that there's transparency, because the only way that this republic works is if everybody's active.
Right, and I think that, like you're talking about, like, educational component's huge, right? I will confess right now, I don't know a lot about FOIA at all. I know there's a process, we file paperwork, it goes through a chain. I don't know, I'm not a FOIA expert. However, taking the time to learn about it, so it seems that you've done some reading on it. And like I said, you may be 100% correct, I don't know. That's not something I.
Government entities at all level. So, sometimes there's a request. Is it hard for the officer to hand the paperwork over?
Well, I'll give you an example. So you give me that request at 8:30 tonight. There is nobody here to give it to. I'm gone at 6 in the morning.
What's your badge number, sir? 5555. Okay, we'll go ahead and contact public access counselor that
Right, but what I'm saying is that between the schedules, right? So a guy may get off at 6 in the morning, there's still nobody here at record, so who are they leaving that with?
Okay,
Throwing them out in
anyhow,
a basket.
folks, listen.
We're getting to but you're right, and that's the thing, that's why we're here, we're gonna learn through this as our.
Oh, did you bring that envelope for me, sir?
Oh, no, this is something else.
We need to inspect that now that you have it on clock time. No.
Hey, you
All right,
gentlemen
boys.
have been very good, please
Hold
uphold the
on, correct
Constitution.
me if I'm wrong. Can they file FOIAs online? See?
Yep.
So, this is what I was trying to tell you, and this is where kind of our opinions maybe differ, and our interpretation of what you're classifying as at all levels, except in the FOIA. What our guys should be telling you is, you have two options. You can go online right away to file the FOIA yourself, or you can come here. So technically, I don't see that as a refusing to accept a written piece of paper that you want to meet in a traffic stop. So we're probably just disagreeing on
Yeah.
our
We're
interpretation
the
of
same
that.
thing, like there's nothing, especially at the stop, like you wanna know how many tickets? Fine, I agree. Yeah,
No,
right,
no,
there's
it's not
nothing-
about only how many tickets. The government entity, the government is a public record. Everything is public. Everything. You did read the first two paragraphs. This gentleman listened to the first two paragraphs. This gentleman did not. Sir, Illinois, what is this? ILCS, Illinois Compiled Statutes 140 FOIA. It's a great read, man. 37 pages. Go ahead and read it on your own time.
I know.
Forget going out on the weekends, man, forget the babes. Read the FOIA documents. That's where the fun's
Yeah,
at.
right, sure.
You guys have a
I don't know
great
if
day.
that
Please
sounds
be
too
safe.
exciting, but.
Please be safe.
Thank
Please,
you.
more importantly, uphold the Constitution.
Thank you.
This young woman was extremely professional and respectful. Thank you for doing that, because you know what? Not all police stations are like that. Some of them like treat you really, really rude. So I
Sure.
really, really appreciate you doing that. You guys be safe.
Right, fellas.
God bless.
Okay, fellas, take care. Well, you guys heard, don't get discouraged from not filing the FOIA. File the FOIA.
And they're gonna try to say, yeah, do it online, or we can do it online. But yeah, I would say like with Autumn.
Will, what do you think of that concept? Soon as you receive a ticket, you go ahead and file.
I love that. It's
Okay, let me
immediate
find out how many tickets this officer issued in the past 30 days.
And
In
then
the past,
also, why not find out his file?
the officer is
let's see-
investigating you, so you go ahead and put a
Investigate
FOIA.
him. Let's see how many times.
Audit them.
Audit them. Your favorite YouTuber. Go to audit them. So guys, please go to audit them. He's got a great channel. He does audits in a completely different way. He's your favorite YouTuber. So find out, audit them, audit them, audit them. Tell them Fake Mike sent you. And also CPR audits, CPR audits, CPR audits. Got a lot of exclusive footage over there. It's me and CPR been traveling. Got some crazy AA videos out in Milwaukee. So check those coming out if they already aren't out. So like, share, and subscribe to all of our channels, guys. Peace.